So good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 152nd anniversary Gala and Charity Auction of the Horological Society of New York. My name is Ed Heidman, and I will be your host for this evening. Thank you. Anyway, I'll keep this brief. I just want to welcome everyone, and I hope everyone is getting enough to eat and drink, and you're all having a wonderful time. This is a wonderful occasion. This past year has been an amazing year for the Horological Society, and having been a member for close to 24 years, I can tell you that's for a fact. And we're looking forward to an even more spectacular year ahead. So without further ado, I'm going to begin the introductions, and I'm going to start with Nicholas Manousis, who is our president. Please help me welcome Nick.
Hey, good evening, everyone. It's great to see so many smiling faces here. First off, I got to give some thanks, and I got to thank Chef Robbie J. From Carving Board Catering. He's doing an absolutely wonderful job tonight with the food and drink. I hope you all are enjoying it. Is everybody enjoying your food and drinks tonight? Yes. And I want to carry on with the thank yous. I want to thank the HSNY team, because this is a team effort. We have a big team, and a lot of our team members are here tonight. If you're part of the HSNY team, would you raise your hand so we can see where you are in the crowd? All right, let's give them a hand. And on the HSNY team, I especially want to thank Ed Heidman, our executive director, and Brett Walsdorf, our director of special events. They have put in countless hours into making tonight a reality, and I think they've done a wonderful job. So thank you, Ed and Brett, for all your hard work for tonight. And of course, thank you to our sponsors. Many of our sponsors are in the room. Representatives from our sponsors are here. And I just want to take a minute to talk about these sponsors, because you're looking at the screen, you see these 6 logos, and what jumps out at you? They're all watch industry companies, right? And a lot of these companies are competitors. You know, they are in the same business of selling watches or writing about watches or making watches. But they put aside their short-term business interests and they're thinking long-term. They're thinking about the long-term interest, our common goal here, and that's a goal of education. And I think that's something that's really remarkable. We have such a wonderful horological community here in New York and worldwide. And I think that these sponsors are really evidence of that. As always, I encourage everyone to patronize our sponsors, and I can't thank them enough for their ongoing support every year. So thank you to all of our sponsors. And last but not least, thank you to our members. Our members are the foundation of our society. We are a member-funded nonprofit, and if it wasn't for our kind members, we wouldn't be here doing what we're doing tonight. So thank you to everyone who pays your yearly annual dues. And if you're not a member, if you're here as a guest tonight, welcome. Please enjoy the night, and please consider joining as a member in the future. It's well worth it. So who was here last year for the auction? Who remembers last year's auction, right? I like to call last year's auction the safety deposit auction, because it was an auction that was that came from a safety deposit box that we didn't realize that we had. And then we found out that we still did have the safety deposit box, and there was an incredible collection of watches in it, and we auctioned them last year, and it went very, very well. But it kind of presented us with a problem, because we wanted to continue this tradition of having an auction every year at our gala, but we didn't have any more safety deposit boxes to open, right? We didn't know what we would do for this year. So what did we do for this year? We called on our sponsors and our friends, and we asked them to make donations, and they definitely did. I hope you all had a chance to take a look at the vitrine here in the front. Ed's standing right next to it. Those are all of our lots that are in the vitrine. And there are really some wonderful items in there, some very rare watches, books, and there's some items in there that are absolutely unique. So I'm really excited to see how the auction goes tonight. And I kind of touched on this last year, but I wanted to bring it up again. Tonight you're going to be bidding on some wonderful watches, experiences, books. You're going to be bidding on one of these original lapel pins, but you're bidding on much more than that. You're bidding on the number of career days and classroom visits that we can do this year. You're bidding on the number of international guests that we can fly into New York to give lectures for the rest of this year. And you're bidding on the scholarships that we'll give out at next year's gala. And above all else, you're bidding on the mission of our society, and that's a mission of horological education. And it's a mission to advance the art and science of watchmaking. So keep it in mind as you bid tonight. Enjoy the night, drink, eat, have fun. We've got a great crowd here tonight, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how the auction goes. Thank you, everyone.
So I just wanted to add something to something that Nick mentioned about classroom visits. My first experience, and we always say yes when a school asks us to come. And so my first experience was with 135 10-year-olds at fourth graders at a school. And it was really something to see. I mean, it was this many people, but all 10 or younger. It was quite an experience. So our next guest speaker is the Executive Director of the American Watch and Clockmakers Institute, Jordan Ficklin. Please help me welcome Jordan.
I'm honored to be here once again this year to support one of our affiliate chapters, in fact, our strongest and best affiliate chapter at the American Watchmakers Clockmakers Institute. I want to congratulate you as an affiliate chapter and as an organization for all the hard work and dedication that you are putting into horology, specifically and especially what you do for education. We share that mission in common, and what you're doing is very important, and it's making a big difference. Thank you. I'm a watchmaker, and so in essence, I'm a mechanic, a micromechanic, if you will. We tend to focus on machines. As an organization at the American Watchmakers Clockmakers Institute, we often focus on how watchmakers service those machines. But we can't forget that everything that we do is actually about the people who own those machines, the watch owners. The Horological Society of New York has been successful in a big part because it has focused on the people of horology, not just on the machines of horology. I read an article yesterday on Quill and Pad. I'm sure some of you read it as well. The article talks about the efforts to speed up the repair process and the decisions that some of the watch brands are making to reduce service times. Some of the watch manufacturers have forgotten about the people, about the watch owners. We must remember that all the participants in the industry, from the students we honor tonight with the scholarships, to the watchmaker at the bench, to the casual owner or the passionate collector, they're all important to the success of the horological industry. I think that everyone here recognizes that. I'm also reading a book right now called The Watches I've Known. And despite the fact that the title says it's about watches, it's about people. It's the stories of a watchmaker and the stories of the owners of the watches and the stories that go with the watches that he's serviced over his career that has spanned many, many decades. It's a fascinating read. This watchmaker was excellent from an early age at repairing timepieces. He has just a natural knack for it. But he also understood throughout his career that each one of these watches had an owner and had a story. And he paid close attention to those and did special things for the customers based on those timepieces. Countless stories about veterans who brought watches back from wars, graduation gifts. Each one of these has a story. HSNY and AWCI, we're both dedicated to serving the people who are a part of the horological community. And I'd like to take just a minute to do some shameless advertising for AWCI. Hope that's okay. First, a reminder to all of you who are members of HSNY that you can read our monthly magazine, Horological Times, online for free. As a member, it's one of your benefits. It's at our webpage, awci.com/HSNY. You can get copies of that magazine. You'll need a password, and you can get that from HSNY. They've got that password to share with you. Secondly, for those of you who have taken classes through HSNY, these tremendous classes, Horology 101 through 104, all the neat things they're doing. Whether you're interested in a career in watchmaking or you just enjoyed those classes and you're looking for more, we're here to support you in those efforts. Our Research and Education Council has full-time schools around the country that can help you if a career in watchmaking is what you're looking for. And through AWCI, we also have advanced level classes. And I know that you're going to have some of those here with your classroom here in New York as well. And obviously, if the class is here in New York, take it here from the Horological Society. It'll be tremendous. If you're looking for more than that, we've got classes starting from introduction through case and bracelet refinishing, standards, theory, high-end decoration and finishing, and so much more. Great opportunities there. And beginning in 2019, I want to let everyone know about a new initiative that our board has approved that we've started on. We're going to have a mobile classroom, the Archies Perkins Memorial Mobile Horological Classroom that's going to tour around the country offering education for anyone with an interest in horology. There'll be professional level classes, classes for collectors. Our Build a Watch and Build a Clock classes will be a part of that. But our pledge is similar to what HSNY doing is if we roll into a city and we offer an event for collectors, that we will also show up for a career day at a high school and offer that to the students there because we need more people who are passionate, as all of you are, about horology. We want to see horology and the passion for horology grow in the United States. And that's why we're here tonight, because we love this stuff. That's why I'm here supporting the Horological Society, because they just absolutely do help us move our mission forward as an organization and your mission of the society together forward. And I'm grateful for that, and I congratulate them for all their efforts. Thank you.
All right. Next we have our Henry B. Freed Scholarship, and I'll let Steve Eagle explain more about that for you.
Well, it's surely been an incredible year for watchmaking education at HSNY. And we owe a big part of that to the people here in this room. Whether you are supporting us here as a sponsor or have taken some of our classes or support us through your annual membership, we couldn't do what we do without you. So thank you so much for all of your support. I'd also like to just recognize all of our instructors and everyone in the education program. If you're one of our instructors, can you raise your hand? Yeah. Yeah, they work so hard week in and week out to continue bringing classes every single week here in New York and throughout the United States. Over the course of the last year, we taught 74 classes here in New York City, and we hosted over 400 students. On top of that, the last year we traveled to 11 different cities as we continue to expand our traveling education program. And additionally, we were able to meet with some of the watchmakers of tomorrow as we made our way into public schools and did a presentation at the Cooper Hewitt Design Museum, just teaching young minds about watches, clocks, and telling time. I'm just very excited seeing what we accomplished last year and looking forward to see what we can do in the year to come. Now, so the real reason they invited me up here today, I see two faces in the crowd that are particularly eager, so I won't waste any more time in announcing our two recipients of the Henry B. Freed Scholarship for $10,000 each. Due to an incredibly generous $100,000 anonymous donation, we were able to quadruple our scholarship for this year compared to last year. So if you'll please join me in congratulating Mark Duckett and Eric Gonzalez. Hold on a second. Mark is a student at the Patek Philippe Institute of New York. He grew up admiring timekeeping devices and the artists and craftsmen who created them. After college, he settled into a promising career in finance in Boston, but he knew that wasn't his passion. He actually took our traveling education class when we went to Boston last year, and what can I say? We got him hooked. And so with the support of his family, he quit his job and moved here to New York to pursue a career in watchmaking. I think he put it pretty well in his application essay, and he said, "The ultimate watchmaking tool is the hands and the minds of the watchmaker." We're happy that this scholarship will allow him to focus his hands and his mind on learning watchmaking, and he'll be able to worry less about the expense of living in New York City and focus on school. So congratulations, Mark. Eric is also a student at the Patek Philippe Institute of New York. He was brought to the United States with his family when he was less than a year old, as his parents came here to pursue the American dream. He studied accounting at Queens College, but he knew that that was not his dream. He was drawn to watchmaking not just by the craftsmanship, but the stories that watches tell. He wants watchmaking to be his life story so that he can preserve and perpetuate the story of the watches that he works on. This scholarship will offset the large financial burden that Eric has and allow him to work less as he keeps his focus on what he's learning at watchmaking school. Congratulations, Eric.
All right, so here we are. It's time for our charity auction. So warm up those wallets and get ready. Here comes John Reardon. John. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Here we are. The night has arrived. Thank you so much, Ed. Tonight, my heart is beating so fast. Because for the next 20 minutes, we're all going to compete. And that's one of the most beautiful things about auction. To the highest bidder goes the spoils. But first, I just want to say this about the HSNY. The HSNY, and also I have to say the AWCI, represents everything that's good about our industry. Here we are, we're collectors, watchmakers, clockmakers, auctioneers, retailers. We have every spectrum of the industry. We have bloggers, we have historians, we have all various subspecialists. And we're together celebrating something that we all love. And that's this love of horology. And the 10 lots that we're going to compete with tonight, each of them have an element of surprise. Each of them have some of the passion and the love, and we're going to share some of those stories as we go through those lots. First, we have to have the rules. And what's wonderful about this auction is there aren't many rules. First, no buyer's premium. So what you bid is what you pay. Next, I'm trying to find the rules here. Okay, all right, next. There's no reserves. So we're not going to be defending any reserves tonight. At the end of the night, winners are welcome. Are we going to room 506? We're going to do it here. All right. You can literally pay with a credit card and walk out with the items tonight. So credit cards are more than welcome. We don't have paddles because you have another tool, your hands. So here's my question to you. How many people, not just watchmakers, have disassembled and assembled a watch or a clock in your life? Please raise your hand. Well over half of the room. Very good. How many of you have attended a charity auction or a regular auction before? Please raise your hand. Excellent. Now, how many of you have never attended an auction in your life? All right, you're my bidders tonight. So that was our warm-up. I just wanted to make sure your hands are ready, because let the battle begin. Because the first lot, which last year was quite exciting, was the Horological Society of New York vintage lapel pin. These were made in the 1930s. Only a handful still remain. And this is very key. This is the second to last one that you have the opportunity to purchase. Oh, there's two others after this. All right. So in 2019 and 2020, you have a chance. Just to set the estimate's $500 to $1,000. Last year it brought $3,000. Next year I'm quite sure it'll bring $6,000. And the year after that, clearly $20,000. So get your bargain tonight. My colleagues Ryan and Theodora from Christie's are here with me. After you buy the lot, Theodora is going to take your name down. We're going to be somewhat official. And Ryan, thank you for being the bid spotter this evening, because there's going to be so many bids. All right, for the lot number one, for the pin, we're going to open the bid at $250. So we have $250. Thank you very much. $300. $350. Do we have any interest above? We have $400, $450, $500, up to $500 for this pin. Very much in the back, $550, $600, $650. I think I should just up the increments to hundreds at this point. All right, we have $700, $800, $900. Do we have $1,000? All right, next bid, $1,200. Do we have $1,200? $1,200, $1,400. $1,400 for the pin. Do we have any further interest? The gentleman in the back is at $1,600. $2,000. Thank you very much, sir. We're at $2,000. Quickly approaching the record from last year. We are at $2,000 for this pin. Any further interest from $2,000? $2,200. Thank you, sir, in the front. So we have $2,200. $2,500? You put 5 up, so I'm going to take $2,500. All right, the next bid is $2,800. Any interest at $2,800? The gentleman here on my right has it at $2,500. I'm going to grab the gavel here because I think we might have our first sale of the evening. $2,500 is the number. Any further interest at the extraordinary price of $2,500 for the pin? We're selling lot number 1. Thank you very much, sir. $2,500. And I assure you, that's a bargain. Watch what happens next year. Thank you, sir. The second lot, this was donated by Bulova. Thank you very much. It's an extraordinary new book that is quite hard to get because it hasn't officially been released yet. You'll be buying and bidding a sealed copy of this book, over 176 pages telling the history of Bulova, which is very integral to the history of watchmaking and New York. This particular book contains a series of essays. Jack Forster from Hodinkee kindly wrote one of the essays in the book, and it's highly recommended. And we're going to open the bidding at $150. Actually, I have on the book $200 already from my absentee bidder. Any further interest? $250. Thank you very much. $300. We're at $300 for the Bulova book. Any further interest beyond $300? $400. Thank you, sir. Gentleman in the back, $400. $400 for the book on Bulova. Any further advance? Looking for $450. The paddle is up. Sold. $400 to the gentleman in the back. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Moving on from Bulova to Rolex. Now this book, if you've ever had it in your hands, is 13 pounds of book. It is quite heavy. Poor Nick has been carrying this book around for quite some time. It's been kindly donated to HSNY by Mr. Winthrop Robinson. Is he here tonight? Thank you very much. Thank you for the donation. 599 examples of this book were shared, and we're going to start the bidding. The estimate is $1,500 to $2,000. We're going to start the bidding at $200. Do we have any interest at we have $300. We have $300. Any interest at $400? $400. In the far back on my right, we are at $400. $400 for this book on Rolex. Now, with the knowledge you can gain from this book, just imagine the money you could make at auction. So we remain at $400. Any further interest at $400? All right. $500. Thank you very much, sir. $500. Now, the human brain is 3 pounds on average. This is 13 pounds. 13 pounds for this book, so I think we have to have one more bid. We're at $500. Any further interest? The gavel is up. We are selling at $500. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Now, this next lot makes me a bit nervous, because the young lady sitting right here in the front, Kelly Yock, you have the honor of having a private tour of Tiffany with Kelly, behind the scenes tour of the Patek Philippe boutique, and then you get to have dinner with Kelly. And I assure you, you're going to learn things about the industry that you did not know before. And with this, I already have a bid at $250. Is there any further interest from $250? We have $300. $500 already, $500, $600, $700, $800, $900, $1,000 already. We are at $1,000 for a dinner with Kelly. We're at $1,100. I think I have to up the increment, $1,200. Next bid is $1,500. Thank you. The gentleman in the center of the room jumped the bid. We're at $1,500. Next bid is $1,800. We're at $1,800, and I didn't even have to add this soundbite. I had 4 people contact me when we made this announcement, and it was a very smart bid at $1,800. They asked, could they get a 5711 Nautilus with a Tiffany signature if they have dinner with Kelly? I'm not answering that question tonight, but you might want to ask what she has in that bag later. So $1,800, any further advance? $2,000. Thank you very much, sir. $2,000 for dinner with Kelly Yock. I'm loving this, Kelly. Any comments you'd like to add at $2,000, Kelly?
I'm not sure if the bidding will stop if you do know that there are no questions allowed about 5711, 5712, 5167, 5726. Those questions are actually not allowed, but I will talk history, I will talk current stock, but nothing doing with steel whatsoever.
Notice repeaters are still on the table.
Repeaters are still on the table, absolutely. And we'll talk all night about repeaters if you'd like.
So we are at $2,000 with the gentleman on my right. The next bid is $2,200. Thank you very much. We're at $2,200. This is a world record price for dinner with Kelly Yap. I think Christie needs a press release going out immediately on this. We're at $2,200. But thank you very much from the young lady right in front of me. $2,200. Any further interest about $2,200? The next bid is $2,500. The gentleman with the yellow shirt, that looks like a bid. I'm looking at you, Philip. $2,200? All right, I'm raising the paddle at $2,200. Going once, going twice, and sold. Congratulations. Thank you so much. This dinner is going to be worth it. Every penny. Oops. Now, I can't promise this dinner is going to be worth it, but I'll try. Because here, you're going to have your dinner with yours truly at Christie's, and my colleague, Rebecca Ross, will also attend. But here's what's key. You're going to be able to get an advanced preview of the June 13th Christie's sale. You're also going to be the first to get the advanced preview of our private sales, which for the collectors out there is probably one of the most interesting things. And then you're going to have to tolerate a dinner with me and Rebecca afterwards, talking watches, and it's going to be very enjoyable. Now, I'm very happy that someone left an absentee bid at $250, so at least I could relax that it's sold. But is there any further interest beyond $250? Thank you very much. $300, we have a bid from the young lady in the center of the room. $300, $350, $400, $450. Thank you very much. $500 from the center, $550 in the back, $550. About $600 on my far right. Now I'm going to spice it up a little here, because I'm never going to get to Kelly's number, but I will help here. We can go to Le Bernardin. We can go to Milos. We could go to literally any restaurant you choose, courtesy of Christie's, right? Is our business manager here? Oh, she's sick tonight. All right, anywhere you want to go, as long as it's in New York. I lost track of the bid. We're at $600 with the gentleman on the right. Any further advance? Any interest at, now $700. Let's jump it in the back. $700. Do we have $800? $800. Thank you very much. $900. $1,000 in the back. Thank you very much. We are at $1,000, and we've been meaning to have a meal together for a long time, so that bid is meaningful to me. Thank you so much. So we're at $1,000 for the bid. Any further interest at $1,000 for the, in the back, $1,200. Thank you, sir. Good to see you. Directly from Switzerland, we have a bid from $1,200. Thank you, sir. $1,200, $1,500. I jumped the bid. Thank you. $1,500, we're at the bid. We're at $1,800. Thank you, sir. The next bid is $2,000. This is a world record price for dinner with me and Rebecca. Any further interest at $2,000? Or are we at $1,800? The gavel is up. You're going to pay dearly for this. And we are selling for $1,800. Thank you so much. Combined? I made a mistake. I should have said Kelly's coming to our dinner. Oh, that's true. It's good. That was good fun. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your bidding. All right. Now we're moving on to the art world. Now, before this week, I wasn't familiar with the work of Xavier Magaldi. I encourage all of you to visit his website to see his work, because not only is he a trained watchmaker, he's an artist, and he's very passionate about Cubism in particular, and taking his watchmaking knowledge in order to combine it with his art. If you look on the left, you see a make sure I get this right. We have a chronograph. You can see the column wheel on the far left, which I learned from Nick last night is actually technically accurate. Do you think it's a 240Q? I mean, is it a Patek Philippe caliber? We could dream? Okay. On the right, you have a Perpetual Calendar. So these works of art are kindly donated by the artists, and we're going to open the bidding at $500. However, I already have a bid, $1,000 on the book, $1,100 on the book already. So we have jumped it already to $1,100 to own these two works of art that are both signed by the artist. Is there any further interest beyond $1,100 for these two works of art? Is $1,100 going to do it for our absentee bidder? $1,200. Thank you very much. We're at $1,200 already for these two works of art that are framed and signed by the artist. He describes his work of art, I love this, as mecha futurism. This might be in our vocabulary soon, mecha futurism. So $1,200, is that our final bid from the young lady on my right? Raising the paddle, $1,200, $1,400. $1,400 on the far back on the right. Thank you very much, sir. So we're at $1,400, challenging the table on my right. Do you have interest at $1,600? $1,600, thank you very much. A challenge accepted. The gentleman in the back, does he want to go to $1,800? He is nodding it off. I think you might have just won this at $1,600, unless there's a new bidder. Are we selling at $1,600? The gavel is up. $1,600. Congratulations. Thank you very much. We're over halfway through, 4 lots, and now it's about to get even more interesting. As you all know, the god of modern horology, Dr. George Daniels, has really just reignited in the past during his lifetime an incredible interest in watchmaking, and also through his training, Roger Smith, of course, has really inspired many new people into independent watchmaking. This movie, if you have not seen it, immediately go and get it. And tonight you have the opportunity to own a DVD that's signed by Roger Smith, the mentor of Dr. George Daniels, to learn the story of these two gentlemen and their various personalities, which makes it so interesting. George Daniels' last interview was actually on this in this movie before he passed away. So the estimate is $100 to $300. You could buy it on Amazon, but you can't buy it with the signature of Roger Smith, and that's what we're offering tonight. I could open the bidding at $50. Do we have any bidding, any interest? We have $80 from the center of the room. Next bid is $100. $100. $150? Anyone? $150. 200? 200. Thank you, sir. $200 for the signed copy of the DVD. We're at $200 for this extraordinary piece. Any further interest? We're still at $200 in the center of the room. Raising the paddle. All right. Sold for $200. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. We're down to the last 3 lots. Now, when Nick shared the fact that this book was being sold, I was very excited. I collect horological books, and to have a copy of something that belonged to George Daniels, a personally annotated copy, no less, that's signed by Roger Smith, as proving that it's the personal copy of Dr. Daniels. This particular book is important not only historically, but for the watchmakers in the crowd. You can learn everything you've ever wanted to know about escapements. And that will cost you $500 to start, which is a seeming bargain. So the hands are up in the air. We're at $500 already. Do I have $600? $600 in the far back. We're at $600. Any interest at $700? $700 on the right. Thank you very much. $700. Next bid, $800. $800 in the center of the room. Thank you, sir. We're at $800. Next bid is $900. $900 on the right. We have a bit of a battle here. I can tell you both want this. So we're at $900. $900. Next bid is $1,000 for this historically important book. $1,000 from the center of the room. Now we have a three-way race. We're at $1,000. Any further interest beyond $1,000? I need you all to promise. Okay, we have $1,200 in the back. Is $1,200 okay? Okay, $1,100. So we have $1,100 in the back. We're at $1,100. Any interest at $1,200? $1,200, a new bidder on my right. Thank you very much, sir. We're at $1,200. Next bid is $1,300. We're at $1,200. $1,300. Thank you, sir. $1,300. $1,400. $1,500. $1,500? We're at $1,500. Next bid is $1,800. $1,800. Thank you, sir. $2,000 on my right. $2,000 with a new bidder for this historically important book, the only one in existence that belonged to Dr. Daniels. $2,000 on my right. Any further interest beyond $2,000? $2,200. Thank you, sir. We're at $2,200. I'm looking at you. Would you like to go beyond $2,200? Next bid's $2,500, but I'll take $2,300. $2,300? $2,500. He's at $2,500. This is a true honor for Dr. Daniels. $2,500. Thank you. By the way, this book was donated directly by Roger Smith, so we want to thank him for that, because now we have the world record price for this book at $2,500. Is there any further interest beyond $2,500? The gavel is up. $2,500 to the gentleman on my right. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. All right, let's talk watches. The last lots of the evening, I have 2 more lots remaining, are extraordinarily generous donations. The first is this limited edition Bulova that was 2 pieces. The piece on the right is an original from 1970s, nicknamed the Devil Diver. These were both donated by Analog Shift. So you have the original dive watch on the right, and the piece on the left is quite exciting. This is a prototype that has been recently relaunched by Bulova, and they made 666 examples, but only 30 for Analog Shift that are engraved on the back, specially. Now, is James here? Where is it? So I understand, how fast did it take for these to sell out online? 4 minutes. 4 minutes, all 30 pieces. Tonight, you have 1 minute to make a decision if you want to decide one of those, if you want to have one of these pieces. But not only do you get the original from the 70s, you get the piece that's the reissue. Also automatic, extraordinary pieces, and I hope you saw them earlier tonight. Very important public service announcement. You'll walk home tonight after you pay with the watch on the right with the early one, but you have to wait until the fall until this piece is completed. This is a prototype for the second piece. So we're gonna open the bidding for the so-called Devil Diver. 666 feet, sorry, Kelly, on the dial. And we're gonna open the bidding for this piece at $2,000. So we're at $2,000 immediately, $2,000 out of the gate. Next bid is $2,200. Do we have any interest? $2,200 in the middle of the room. We're at $2,200. Any interest at $2,500 will go as the next bid. $2,500 on the back left. We're at $2,500. On the book, I have $2,800 against you. So we are at $2,800. The next bid is $3,000 on the left. You've taken out my absentee bid. You're at $3,000, sir, already. $3,000. I'll take next bid, we'll say $3,200. Any interest at $3,200? Is $3,000 going to do it for this extraordinary piece? All right, the gavel is up at $3,000. We're going to sell for $3,200 in the back of the room. Thank you, sir. Do we have a bidding war brewing in the back? We're at $3,200. The next bid is $3,400. $3,400. Thank you, sir. $3,400. Do we have interest at $3,600? We remain at $3,400 for the gentleman in the back left of the room. We're at $3,400. The gavel is up. We're going to sell at $3,400 for the Devil Diver. Any further interest? Sold for $3,400. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. And thank you, Analog Shift, for the generous donation. We are now on to the last watch of the evening, the Zenith El Primero original limited edition for a Hodinkee. And thank you, Hodinkee, for the donation. And Ben, I have a question for you. How long did it take for these, I believe, 25 pieces to sell? 20 minutes. All right, now you all have 30 seconds to make the decision to buy one of these pieces. And I believe this was 2 years ago that these came out. So this watch is impossible to find. And for those of you that had the chance to try it on, you think it's a vintage watch, but it's a vintage watch made in modern production. Everything about this piece is done in homage to the original. 38 millimeters, steel, comes with the Zenith paperwork and of course the cost certificate. I have a bid on the book already at $4,000. We're gonna be at $4,000. Next bid is $4,500, sir. Thank you. Next bid is $5,000. We're at $5,000 already. $5,500, $6,000, $6,500, $7,000, $7,000. Thank you, sir. $7,500. I love that you're standing next to each other. Do you know each other, by the way? Good. Keep bidding. All right. $7,500 with you on the right. Do we have $8,000 on the left? We're stopping at $8,000 behind you. I'm very much liking the back left corner. $8,000, $8,000, $10,000. We've jumped the bid to $10,000. Thank you, sir, very much. We are at $10,000. $10,000. He's looking around him if there's, we're at $11,000. $11,000. Next bid is $12,000. Do you accept his challenge? Oh, you're handing it to, what a gentleman, but there may be another bidder coming in. So we're at $11,000 with the gentleman. In the back left, $11,000. Any further interest? For the last lot of the evening, generously donated by Hodinkee, $11,000. The gavel is up. We're going to sell at $11,000. Last chance, $11,000. It is sold. Thank you, sir. Well done. I don't have the tally for the evening. You may know how much. Last year, we raised $30,000 with the auction. I think this year we're awfully close, but we're gonna have to do the numbers to see if this is the record sale of the year. I am so appreciative of all your time. Thank you. It's been a pleasure being with you tonight. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.